My name is Katie Mishu, and thanks for checking out my workshop on integrating technology in early childhood education. My vision for this workshop is for teachers to get some hands-on experience using the technology. I learn technology best by trying it out and playing with it, so I want to give my participants that opportunity from a student's perspective and in their role as a teacher in planning an activity. This slide I would not include in my workshop, but as you can see here, I chose the round seating as I envision this workshop to be a small group. The round setup will work well as I plan to give the participants an opportunity to use the technology I introduce in small groups as well as to collaborate and plan ways to use it back in their classroom. As you'll notice, I have an interactive whiteboard on my setup as that's one of the tools that I plan to show my participants and give them opportunities to try that out as well. The goals that I have for this workshop are for my participants to expand their awareness of the interactive technologies available to them and its use in the classroom, to give them opportunities to operate two different interactive technologies that they could use in their classroom, to show them some new developmentally appropriate activities that they can learn about and take back to their classroom on both the interactive whiteboard as well as with tablets that they could use in their classroom, to give them an opportunity to create a plan for an activity that they could try in their classroom, as well as to give them a media mentor or resource in myself for any questions that they might have for integrating technology in their classroom. First, before I get started, I always like to know what the background is that I have in my workshop. Like just like in teaching, we want to know their background knowledge. Well, I want to know their technology background if I'm going to be giving them. So I like to give them a quick little survey to find out their interest, how they feel about using it with children, and what they think their skill level is. That way you'll know whether or not you can get intricate or whether you need to stay basic with the skills. So then I'm going to introduce to them my tools. My first tool that we're going to check out is the interactive whiteboard. An interactive whiteboard is a large interactive display that projects and communicates with a computer. Through the use of touch or a special pen, students can interact with the content on screen, can move stuff around, write and record to a computer so they can do the work and we can save it onto a computer. Interactive whiteboards create opportunities for the whole class to interact with a single computer activity rather than just a couple individuals at a computer. So you can have a whole group checking out the activity or the few people doing it and the other people viewing it, whereas at a single computer you get individual or maybe small group. An interactive whiteboard offers opportunities for collaboration, kinesthetic, auditory, and visual interaction with content, provides us access to multimedia education. So I'm going to show you two different activities that you can use the Mimeo Smartboard system with. These ones were created for Mimeo Smartboard system, but could be created similarly for Smartboard or Promethean. So the first activity I'm going to go through is morning calendar on the Smartboard. So during interactive calendar, young children can complete multiple daily routines when they arrive at school to work on their math goals. Or you could certainly incorporate some literacy goals as well. I focused on math with this particular one. This is an engaging morning routine that has the children collaborate by their names, dates, and whether to start their day. So I'm going to take a look at the actual interactive. We're going to steer away from this for just a moment to check out the interactive whiteboard. So it's really cool. The kids get to actually interact with it. So they come in the morning, they can move their name to present, they're here for the day. Then as a group, we can get together and talk about the date, and the kids will figure out the days by counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have them set up here just in that order. So they would use their finger or a pen to drag that there. I have them in, like I said, order numerically, but as you're later on in the year, you might mix them up and the students will have to figure out what comes next without having them set up that way. I also can work on some graphing skills and talk about the weather. So the kids would go ahead and check out the window and see what the day was like. If it's sunny, they might grab a sun and put that in their graph. And then you, as a group, you might talk about, well, how many sunny days have we had? How many more cloudy days have we had than sunny days? So you work together and the kids can collaborate on this interactive morning calendar, which is pretty cool. So that's one way that you could work on, you could use with students. You could have more than just a weather graph and a calendar on here as well. It's really whatever you want to make it. As you'll notice, these have blue squares around them. That just means that they're an interactive piece. So if I click on that, I'm going to get a new sun to drag to my weather graph. Just means that there's some kind of action involved with those. So that's the interactive weather graph, date and weather. So like I said, kids will be the ones to interact and move the things around. It's very, very engaging. Let's go back here. So that's the morning calendar on the smartboard. So another smartboard activity that you could do with students is a phonics sort. This activity, students will sort the pictures by beginning sound. However, it could be created for any phonics sort. This particular one's beginning sound, and you could change the sounds, of course, as well. Students will move the pictures to the correct box. This activity, you'll notice there's more blue boxes, and you'll see that again in a moment. These pictures have sound with them, so if a student didn't know what something was, they click on it, it's going to tell them what it is, and they should be able to hear and decide the correct sound. So we can take a look at that as well. So this one, like I said, the kids would interact with it. They'll have a pen, or depending on your smartboard, some can just use their finger. So the kids will then go ahead and sort the different pictures to the correct beginning sound. Like I said, if a kid doesn't know these ones, because they have the square, you can tell there's some kind of action. And if you click on it, these ones actually say a sound.
Ruler.
So the kids click the sound, click the picture, find out what it's called, and then they're going to drag it to where it belongs. Ruler, they put here because it starts with an R sound. So they'd go through and sort them all. You could have more pictures. You could have lots of pictures there for them to sort. Totally up to you. And you can change the sort sound. You can change the phonics skill altogether. So that's this activity. Like I said, kids are collaborating to work together on that. They're working with their peers. They're, in this case, doing their grade level phonics. Like I said, you could certainly change that for whatever phonics or skill sound you want. The other thing we're going to look at is tablets. So tablets are the handheld touch device with internet capabilities. They have access to a variety of applications that can be downloaded. They generally have the capability to take pictures and record videos, so they're great for capturing and creating learning experiences. Their portability allows for ease of integration into learning experiences. They can go where the learning goes. Their touchscreens are a good fit for young children as they learn by touching and doing, and navigating the tablet is done through touch. So let's look at a couple different activities that I think would be a great way to integrate with a tablet. So one way that I just started and I think is really great is Seesaw, which is a fun way for students to be accountable for their learning. Students create digital portfolios to showcase their learning. So students use images, voice recordings, and drawing tools to show and explain what they've learned in school. So students share and reflect on their learning and blend technology with their hands-on learning. Like showcase reading through Seesaw is one thing that I like. Seesaw video offers video and voice recordings, so that makes it fun for students to read and record for their portfolio. So students can share their favorite book from school with their parents at home. Students can work on their reading fluency and stamina for reading with Seesaw because they may be independently reading, but now there's a record of that. So they're going to have to show you the reading at the end because they read to Seesaw. So recording their independent reading creates accountability and that evidence of learning. And this allows students to publish and present content, to become creators, to show their learning, and share it with their parents at home, which is another really cool thing for their folks to be able to see what they're doing in the classroom. I'll share a little video about Seesaw with you.
Seesaw is a learning journal that empowers students to showcase what they're learning at school. Students each get their own journal and can easily add items just by taking a picture. You can also add video, drawings, or anything from the camera roll. Seesaw's camera detects if it's being held steady before taking a picture, and 2 taps is all it takes to add a voice explanation, drawing, or text. Next, students pick their name from the class list and add the item to their journal. It's that easy. Students as young as 5 are using Seesaw with minimal teacher supervision. Teachers can browse items from the whole class or review a single student's work. Seesaw helps keep everything organized and in one place. Seesaw journals are accessible from anywhere, on iPads, iPhones, and on the web, making them great to refer back to for parent-teacher conferences, assessments, or student self-reflection. When teachers approve new items, parents are automatically notified, giving parents a personalized glimpse into their child's day, and a conversation starter for later. Parents can view only their child's journal, and student journals are kept completely private. Setting up your class takes just 30 seconds. Download Seesaw in the App Store and get started.
So that's a really cool thing that you can do with the iPads. Next one is an activity that I created to do with my second graders. They're only in the planning stage at the moment, but my school is a character matter school. And it's just our positive behavior system that we use, and we call it Character Matters, and the kids learn about what makes a good character. And I've challenged my second graders to use the iPad to create a video to explain what good character looks and sounds like in our school. So my second graders, like I said, are in the planning stage. They're working in small groups to plan their part of the video. So they choose something that they feel makes good character and decide how they're going to show it. One group chose helping others, and they're planning to show that by helping kindergartners open their milks at lunch. So soon the students are, like I said, they're planning and creating their ideas right now. So soon they're going to start using the iPads to record their clips for their video. They're working on a script, so what they're going to say. Their group is going to choose roles: a recorder, someone to take the video, speaker, someone who's going to talk about what's going on in the video, and then helpers, obviously the rest of their group that's going to be helping perform by opening the milks for the kindergartners. So groups will, after they've recorded their clip, they're going to meet with the teacher and use iMovie to put those clips together to make a video. So they're going to work and have that scaffolded assistance in putting it all together. And then finally, they're going to publish it, and the goal is for them to present their video at one of our Character Matters assemblies, and then hopefully maybe even play it in the lobby of our school. It's a really cool, fun way that the kids are getting to create those original works. They're responsible for making a creation, something they'll be proud of. And it's really great for them because they're moving, they're creating, they have choice. So it's a really great, developmentally appropriate, because it's connecting their world, and they're learning through the use of technology, and they're getting to create, which is really cool. So then I would give my presentation, my people, some time to play with each of those. So I'm going to have them all set up. The phonics sort and the calendar would be out. I would have computers open with Mimeo Connect, so people who have Mimeo would be able to check out some of the other things. People will be able to explore the iPads and the digital portfolio. Then we'd share out, and I have some questions that they would ask, like how do you use technology now? Is there a lesson you teach that you think you could enhance? So teachers would go through them, and then finally I'd give them some time to make a plan for integrating that technology into the classroom. We'd use Mimeo Whiteboard, the Mimeo, to make an activity that they could take back to their classroom. Then I'll ask them, so if they have any questions in that moment, I'll be there to help out. And then finally I'd have them fill out a survey and see if what we did in that workshop mattered, how much it helped them or didn't, ways I could change it, of course. So that's the brief what my technology workshop would look like. I also am going to include just the slides so you can check those out as well. Thanks for checking it out.